Hi guys, welcome to Football Mad Cox, and yes, it is that time of year again. It is December 21st, the night after WWE TLC 2020. All the pay-per-views are done, and you know what that means. It's time to rank the WWE pay-per-views of 2020. It's been an up and down year 2020 for WWE. It hasn't been the greatest year ever for WWE whatsoever, but it's been an alright year. Obviously the WWE could have done different stuff this year because there was hardly any crowd. Out of all these pay-per-views, there's 3 pay-per-views out of 13 that have crowds. The other 10 does not have crowds. So but anyway, let's get on with it. So number 13, I think you'll know what it is. Number 13 is WWE Super Showdown. Oh my, the worst pay-per-view I have ever seen. This obviously it was in Saudi Arabia, obviously, and it was absolutely terrible. What was on it? Yeah, I always mention this all the time. The Fiend versus Goldberg. Goldberg won. Okay, Goldberg won. Okay, right. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. What else did you get? Oh yeah, you got the squash match between Brock Lesnar and Ricochet. It was pretty funny, to be fair. Just Ricochet being thrown around by Brock Lesnar. It was pretty funny, to be fair. Brock Lesnar obviously won. You had King Corbin versus Roman Reigns in that steel cage match. Nothing much there. It was just a pay-per-view where hardly anything happened. Obviously we did have The Miz and John Morrison win the SmackDown Tag Team Champions from Big E and Kofi Kingston, and yeah, that was pretty alright. But Super Showdown, one of the worst shows I've ever watched since starting watching WWE. It was absolutely terrible. Super Showdown, number 13 for me. So moving on to number 12 is the pay-per-view after Super Showdown. It was the Elimination Chamber, and oh boy, once again, it was another bad show. This pay-per-view was terrible as well. This is definitely the worst Elimination Chamber pay-per-view I feel like WWE have ever done. It was just absolute terrible. I just did not like the booking of this pay-per-view. Obviously, the men's tag team match. It was The Miz and John Morrison, Heavy Machinery, Otis and Tucker, The New Day, the Usos, Lucha House Party, and Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, and that was pretty good. Obviously, Tucker jumping off the pod, landing on everyone, that was pretty good. Otis going through the pod, going right out to the outside, out of the chamber, that was pretty good. And yeah, it was a good Elimination Chamber match. Not the best Elimination Chamber, but it was really good. But yeah, the main event of this Elimination Chamber was Elimination Chamber match, and it was a women's Elimination Chamber match, and it was probably one of the worst Elimination Chamber matches I have ever seen. It was just absolutely terrible. It was boring as hell. It was so predictable that Shayna Baszler was going to win. So who was in this? So there was Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott, and Natalya. And oh my god, it was just absolutely terrible. Obviously, it started off with Natalya and Ruby Riott, I think it was. And then Sarah Logan came out, and then Shayna Baszler came out and just dismantled everyone, eliminating Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott, and Natalya. And then Shayna Baszler was waiting for about 2 long minutes for Liv Morgan. So we were just looking at Shayna Baszler, staring at Liv Morgan and Asuka for 2 minutes. And Liv Morgan came out, she only lasted like 30 seconds, absolutely destroyed by Shayna Baszler, eliminating her. And then we're looking at Shayna Baszler staring at Asuka for like 5 minutes, doing absolutely nothing. Asuka came out, Shayna Baszler won. It was absolutely terrible. Defo the worst Elimination Chamber match of all time, no doubt about it. And another match, Braun Strowman defending the Intercontinental Championship against Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cesaro. Braun Strowman couldn't even kick out of a kick by Sami Zayn and a little suplex. What? Like, it's Braun Strowman. How the fuck? He's dominated for years of his career. Flip stuff and all that. And he doesn't kick out of a little kick by Sami Zayn and a suplex. Absolutely atrocious. Obviously, what else happened? Daniel Bryan versus Drew Gulak. It was an alright match, not the greatest match ever. Obviously, Daniel Bryan did actually have a wardrobe malfunction in that match. But this show was so bad. Oh no, it just wasn't good. Elimination Chamber, number 12 for me. Terrible show. So in number 11, I wouldn't say I hate this show, it's just a terrible name. The horror show, Extreme Rules. What is that name? Just call it Extreme Rules. Why is it called the horror show? Like, I don't know. Like, what is that? Like, alright, but anyway, yeah, the horror show Extreme Rules, it was alright. I was really disappointed in the Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman match, the Wyatt Swamp fight. I was really disappointed in that, and I was expecting better. Obviously, I'd say the highlight of that match is when Alexa Bliss was dressed up as Sister Abigail and wanted Braun Strowman to come and follow her or something like that. And then obviously the end, Bray Wyatt dragged Braun Strowman into the swamp, and then the Fiend rolls out the swamp, and that was pretty good, to be fair. And yeah, to be honest, I was pretty disappointed in the horror show, not the horror show, the swamp fight. Match of the night, I agree, was definitely Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. I feel it was a good match. It was a good match, to be fair, but it just wasn't the best. But obviously Drew McIntyre won and retained the WWE Championship, but it was an alright match. The New Day versus Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Wow, that ending of that match was pretty good, to be fair. When Cesaro powerbombed Kofi Kingston through the tables, that was that was probably move of the night, to be fair. One of the moves, probably one of the best moves of the year. One of the most brutal moves of the year. It just looked so good when Cesaro powerbombed Kofi Kingston for the table, and as we had new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and to end, that was a good match as well. What else did we have? I forgot. It was a pretty forgettable show, to be fair. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it, to be fair. You had Sasha Banks win the Raw Women's Champion from Asuka. What was a bit of a screwy finish because Bayley was dressed up as the referee to win, to help Sasha win the match. But that was an alright match. You had Bayley versus Nikki Cross and all of that. But yeah, it was the horror show Extreme Rules. I'm just going to call it Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules 2020. It was an alright pay-per-view. It's not one of the greatest Extreme Rule pay-per-views ever. One of the weakest ones. And it's one of the worst pay-per-views of the year, in my opinion. Number 11, the horror show Extreme Rules. So moving on to number 10. Number 10 is Payback. Yeah, it was an alright pay-per-view. I feel like it was rushed. I feel like, obviously, announced it, like, was it just before Summer? They announced it just before SummerSlam, like a week before the pay-per-view. They just announced it, and there was like only 4 matches announced until like straight away. When the show started, they just put random matches like Big E versus Seamus, Matt Riddle versus King Corbin, and all that. It's just those 2 matches weren't good. But let's move on to the main event. The Fiend versus Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. It was mostly The Fiend versus Braun Strowman because Roman Reigns did not sign the contract on the SmackDown before Payback. But obviously it was mostly The Fiend versus Braun Strowman. But these guys tore the roof out of the Thunderdome. Wow, it was a great match, that. The Fiend and Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. Should I say The Fiend and Braun Strowman went through hell. They bloody went all around the arena and all that. They even broke the ring. And then after, when they broke the ring, Roman Reigns came out with Paul Heyman with the Payback contract, as he signed the contract and he was in the match. what I thought was a bit crap, to be fair. I would have been so better if Roman Reigns was in the whole match, but in the end he wasn't. So Roman Reigns came down in his wreck everyone and leave shirt. The ring was still broke. He speared Braun and the Fiend, both of them kicked out actually. And then Bray, the Fiend had their mandible claw on Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns with a low blow what took the Fiend out of the ring, and then Roman Reigns speared Braun Strowman to win the Universal title. And yeah, Roman Reigns has had the title since, and he's been unstoppable since. And yeah, Roman Reigns won that. What other matches there? Oh yeah, we had Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax beat Sasha Banks and Bayley. Straight after paybacks, Bayley would turn on Sasha Banks. And yeah, it was an alright match. It was pretty forgettable, to be fair. But yeah, we had Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax win the Women's Tag Team Championships. We had a few title changes in this show because we also had the United States Championship turn hands. Apollo Crews versus Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley actually won and took the United States Championship away from Apollo Crews. What was pretty surprising, to be fair, Bobby Lashley put the, what is it called? I forgot what it was called. The Hurt Lock, because that's what they call it these days. The Hurt Lock, as Apollo Crews tapped out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It was Payback. It was an alright pay-per-view. Match of the night was definitely The Fiend versus Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. They tore the roof down. And yeah, Payback, number 10 for me. Number 9, I'm going to surprise you here. Number 9 is Survivor Series. I hate this show. The reason why I put it above Payback and the Horror Show Extreme Rules is because it's Survivor Series. You can't put Survivor Series at the bottom or near the bottom. But this is one of the worst Survivor Series ever, in my opinion. This Survivor Series was terrible. There's just something about it what I did not like. Obviously, they had no NXT this year, probably because of the global pandemic. But, like, what was this show, man? I just didn't like Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. It was forgettable. I didn't like that match. I had Jey Uso help Roman Reigns out with Roman Reigns. Actually, Drew McIntyre actually passed out with Roman Reigns' guillotine as well. Obviously, you had the men's Raw and men's SmackDown team match. That match was terrible. I just didn't like how all of the Raw members were sole survivors. I just hate how all of SmackDown's members were eliminated and all the Raw members were still, like, all of them, they didn't get eliminated. None of the Raw members got eliminated, and I absolutely hated that. Every Survivor Series match, you must have at least 1 or 2 sole survivors at Survivor Series. You need to at least have 1 or 2, because that is just, you can't just have all 5. I absolutely hated that. That was terrible. To be honest, I probably preferred the women's 5-on-5 Raw vs SmackDown match. That was a pretty good match. But the thing is, Nia Jax and Bianca Belair got counted out. Oh wait, Lana's the sole survivor, even though she didn't even do anything. What? Like, that terrible booking. That's terrible booking. I know they're trying to push Lana. Obviously, Lana is injured now. But Lana was the sole survivor, even though she did jack shit. All she did was just stand on the metal steps nearly the whole match, doing absolutely nothing. But yeah, obviously Bayley, she didn't even last long. She got eliminated by Peyton Royce. Like, what is that? Oh my god. There's something about this show I just absolutely hate. Survivor Series is number 9. To be honest, I wish I put it in number 11 now. What was I thinking putting it in number 9? I absolutely hated this show. Survivor Series, number 9 for me. It should be a number 11, to be fair. But I put it in number 9 because it's Survivor Series. Everyone loves Survivor Series. But this Survivor Series is one of the worst ever. But anyway, number 8 is Backlash. And this pay-per-view was home to the greatest wrestling match ever. Edge versus Randy Orton. And was it the greatest wrestling match ever? No. It would, to be honest, WWE, they did prove us wrong. It was one of the best wrestling matches of all time, but was it one of the best? Hell no. Well, it wasn't Undertaker Shawn Michaels level whatsoever. No, it was an amazing match. It was an absolutely incredible match. Edge and Randy Orton tore the performance center down. It was absolutely amazing. Amazing match. Obviously, Randy Orton won with a punt kick, not the RKO. He won with a punt kick. Obviously, we haven't seen Edge since Backlash because he broke his... what did he break? I can't remember. But Edge got injured in that match. But yeah, Randy Orton won that match, the greatest wrestling match ever, and probably the best wrestling match of this year. You would say it's up there with Undertaker and AJ Styles. But yeah, Backlash Randy Orton versus Edge, really good match. What else happens? Obviously, we had Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre obviously won. Not much happened there. Drew McIntyre won. And retained the WWE Championship. What else? We had Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy. I actually like that storyline, to be fair. It was an alright storyline, because what it was all about, it started with Jeff Hardy running over Elias and all that with the car and everything. And then Sheamus would, like, what would you say, went through his, like, worst things, what he's done out of WWE. Like, he mentioned him as an alcoholic, a pee test, he had a pee test, drugs and all that with, like, and yeah, that's what Sheamus was talking about Jeff Hardy. He was saying he took drugs, he's saying that he was drunk, he was an alcoholic and all that. Obviously, in a Backlash, Sheamus won, surprisingly. Sheamus actually won. What was really surprising, to be fair. I thought Jeff Hardy would win, but no, Sheamus won. What else did you have? I can't really remember much about this pay-per-view. Oh yeah, you had Braun Strowman defend the Universal title against John Morrison and The Miz. What was a pretty... it was alright. It was not... I wouldn't say it was a long match. It was pretty boring, to be fair. Braun Strowman's title reign wasn't the greatest title reign ever, was it? But yeah, Braun Strowman obviously won. And yeah, you had Asuka versus Nia Jax. What was a count out? Both of them got counted out. What was really disappointing, I was really looking forward to that match, but both women got counted out. But anyway, yeah, Backlash, number 8 for me. So moving on to number 7. So my number 7 has to be Hell in a Cell. Like, yeah, good pay-per-view. But wow, one of the greatest matches of the year, one of the best matches of the year. One of the best Hell in a Cell matches I've seen. It was just the storytelling. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. Oh my goodness, what an amazing match that was. It's just the storytelling of the match, and it was just amazing. Roman Reigns was destroying Jey Uso. Jey Uso didn't quit, because if he said I quit, his family, Jimmy Uso, Naomi, and his kids and his wife and all that would be out of the Samoan families, the Samoan dynasty or something. As Roman Reigns did win, Jimmy Uso came out, and then Roman Reigns did the guillotine on Jimmy Uso, what caused Jey Uso to say I quit. And I like that ending, to be fair. It's really smart. Jey Uso didn't quit. He does not want to quit. But then Jimmy comes out. Jey would do anything for his brother Jimmy, and yeah, Jimmy Uso got put in the guillotine by Roman Reigns, as Jey Uso says, "I quit," and it was just so good. And then you had the Wild Samoans, I believe, as they crowned Roman Reigns the tribal chief. And that was amazing. I absolutely loved that match. It was amazing. Definitely match of the night, and one of the best matches of the year, in my opinion. Obviously, Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Amazing match. Randy Orton won the WWE Championship for the 14th time. Obviously, didn't have it for long, obviously, because he's not the champion anymore. But Randy Orton beat Drew McIntyre as he won the WWE Championship. It was a good match. Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton were battling the sides of the cell. Drew McIntyre went for the table at the top of the cell. Not like the one with Mankind. It was at the side of the cell. It wasn't that high. You wouldn't say, but Drew McIntyre went crashing down into the announce table. And yeah, Randy Orton won. And good match. It was really, really good match. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. What else did we have? Yeah, we have Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Champion. Sasha Banks won. What shouldn't have happened? I thought they would have this storyline till WrestleMania 37, but I guess not. They've already done with the storyline. Not great. To be honest, that storyline was terrible. Bayley and Sasha Banks' storyline. Oh boy, that was a bad storyline, to be fair. It was a good match, Bayley versus Sasha Banks, the Hell in a Cell, but definitely the weakest out of all the 3 Hell in a Cell matches that night, in my opinion. What else did you have? Oh, and you had The Miz win the Money in the Bank contract from Otis, with Tucker turning on Otis, so heavy machinery was over. And I don't think we've even seen Tucker since then. Where has Tucker been? Oh, yeah, he went on Raw the next week and lost to Ricochet. Don't job out Tucker. Away. Do not job out Tucker. You can't. But yeah, anyway, obviously, yeah, The Miz won the Money in the Bank briefcase, and obviously he recently failed to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. But yeah. But anyway, yeah, Hell in a Cell, number 7 for me. So number 6 is Money in the Bank. Okay, this pay-per-view was weird. Like, the main event, oh my god, it was solid gold. The main event, Money in the Bank. It was a cinematic match. Obviously, what they had to do, the Money in the Bank briefcase was on top of WWE headquarters. And the thing is, I just didn't like the winners. I did not like the winners. You had Asuka win the Women's Money in the Bank, and you had Otis. Why did Otis have to win? Like, you really think Otis would win the WWE Universal Champion? No. Obviously, it was a screw finish. AJ Styles and back King Corbin had it on top of the ladder. They dropped it. No, Lies came in. Hit King Corbin at the back. AJ would have it, but he dropped it and it landed in all his hands. Oh boy, it was really good though. It was really funny. I loved the bit where Otis. I like the bit where Shayna Baszler had the bloody submission lock on Rey Mysterio. I really like that. And when Otis would pie face John Laurinaitis, that was pretty funny. And yeah, it was really good. And obviously the beginning where Asuka jumped off the side and landed on everyone, it was really good. But yeah, that's that. One of the matches, obviously we have Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman for the Universal title. Well, it was a good match, good storytelling. Obviously you had Huskus the Pig Boy and that on the barricade cheering on for Bray. Obviously at the end you had Braun Strowman wear the black sheep mask, and I think he was joining Bray Wyatt again, but no, Braun Strowman drops the mask, stamps on it, and running power slam to Bray Wyatt. 1, 2, 3. Braun Strowman won that. It was an alright match. You probably would have said one of Bray Wyatt's weakest matches are coming back as the Fiend and the Funhouse Bray and all that. But yeah. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. What was an alright match. It wasn't the best ever, but it was good. Nothing much there, but it was a good match. What else? Not much. It was a good pay-per-view. Money in the Bank, great pay-per-view, and that's why I put it in number 6. Number 5, we made it to our top 5 now, guys. Number 5 is SummerSlam. Wow, the ending of this show was amazing. The Fiend versus Braun Strowman, they tore the roof down. What a match those two had. One of the Fiend's best matches of coming back, probably. It was a great match. Obviously, the Fiend won the Universal Championship for the second time until Spear, the big dog, Roman Reigns, came out. He returned. He speared the Fiend. He speared Braun Strowman. He hit Braun Strowman with a few chair shots and speared the Fiend again, with Roman Reigns returning. And then the next week, Roman Reigns wins the Universal title at Payback. And yeah, wow, what a return for Roman Reigns. Definitely a return of the year, one of the shockers of the year. Obviously, what else we have? We had Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. I just didn't like this match. There's something about this match I didn't like. I did not like the ending. Drew McIntyre winning by like a roll-up on Randy Orton. A roll-up in a WWE Championship match. A roll-up at SummerSlam as well. Out of all places. Drew McIntyre won. It just wasn't a good match in my opinion. What else you had? Oh yeah, you had Asuka win back the Raw Women's Championship from Sasha Banks, and she faced Bayley as well. She had 2 matches that night, Asuka. But she lost to Bayley and she beat Sasha Banks. So yeah, what else happened? Nothing else. It wasn't really that much. Oh yeah, you had Mandy Rose versus Sonya Deville. Mandy Rose won. Nothing much there. And yeah, but yeah, SummerSlam, it was an alright pay-per-view. It's probably one of the weakest SummerSlams, I'd say, in a while. One of the weakest, in my opinion, but it was a good pay-per-view. It was a good pay-per-view. Out of 2020 pay-per-views, this is up there as one of the best pay-per-views of 2020. So number 5 for me, SummerSlam. So number 4, oh, I love this pay-per-view. Number 4 is Clash of Champions. Wow, I absolutely love this show. There's like, how many matches? There was 3 matches. What we really got, but 3 matches, one of the best of the year as well. Let's start off with the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Holy crap. Best match of the year. Best match of the year. No doubt about it. Oh my god, what a match. AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn versus Jeff Hardy. Like, oh, it was so good. I absolutely loved that match. Sami Zayn won. He handcuffed Jeff Hardy's ear to a ladder. Oh my god. You had Jeff Hardy do the swanton bomb onto Sami Zayn through a ladder. It was amazing. It was brutal as well. It was hard hitting as well. And I love that. Those 3 guys torn the roof down of the Thunderdome. Amazing match. What else? You had Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton in an ambulance match. Probably the best match those 3 had. Those 2 has, not those 3. Those 2 has. It was just so good. The storytelling of this match as well, because Randy Orton, he's a legend killer. He's been taking out legends for the past few months. Obviously, Big Show got involved, then Christian got involved, and then Shawn Michaels sweet chin music him off the ladder. Ambulance, not ladder, ambulance. And then you had Ric Flair drive the ambulance away. And I absolutely love that. Drew McIntyre won. Edge was not there. Obviously, he was injured, so he couldn't really appear. So, yeah, it would have been so much better, though, if Edge would have been there, as he would have attacked Randy Orton. It would have been better. But, yeah, that was an amazing match. And obviously, the main event, Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. Wasn't as good as the Hell in a Cell match, though. Definitely not. But it was good. The ending was kind of similar to the Hell in a Cell match. I think it was Roman Reigns won. Roman Reigns did win. The referee, I believe, stopped the match. Jimmy threw in the towel. Didn't he? And oh, it's so good, and it was pretty heartbreaking as well. But yeah, that was an amazing match. And what else? Nothing else. I believe. You had. Yeah, that's it. I believe. Yeah, those are the 3 matches what you need to watch at Clash of Champions, because those 3 matches were amazing. Let's just say that. So moving on to our top 3. Number 3 is the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania 36. I'm going to count these, obviously there were 2 nights, night 1 and night 2 on the Saturday and the Sunday. Obviously I'm going to count these as all as one show. But wow, it was a good WrestleMania. It was one of the weakest WrestleManias ever, in my opinion. Obviously, it just wasn't the same without the crowd, in my opinion. But we need to go to the highlights. The highlights of... I'm not going to go through all the matches because there's bloody loads of them. But I'm going to go through the main ones. Let's start off with The Undertaker versus AJ Styles. Oh my god. What a match. It was a cinematic match. And in the Boneyard match, and it was the American badass Undertaker as well, on the bike, coming in on the bike, choke slamming AJ Styles off into the bloody whatever it was, and it was solid gold. Obviously Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson were there as well. Obviously they're not even in WWE anymore, but wow, it was amazing, start to finish. The Boneyard match, definitely the highlight of the whole WrestleMania. But let's go on another. It was another cinematic match, was on night 2. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. Wow. Once again, it was amazing. It was incredible. The storytelling of this match. This match was about John Cena. This match was about John Cena's career. Like, obviously, it went through all of his career. It started when the ruthless aggression thing, he came out in the prototype attire as Bray Wyatt was pretending to be Kurt Angle at the beginning, and then we move on to the cult leader days with the WrestleMania 30 match, John Cena and Bray Wyatt, when John Cena did win, and Bray Wyatt saying, they needed me, they wanted me, but in the end, John Cena did win. And obviously that's when John Cena's legacy was on the line at WrestleMania 30. But yeah, what else happened in that match? And obviously we had at the end, John Cena was beating up Huskus the Pig Boy, and then the Fiend rose. Up. Mandible Claw and John Cena, Sister Abigail, and Bray Wyatt, Funhouse Bray, was the referee. So he pinned his own count, and yeah, the Fiend kind of won. I wouldn't say it was a match. I can't say it was a match. The Fiend did kind of win though, let's just say that. And obviously after that match, you just see Titus O'Neil going, I can't believe what I just saw. That was so funny. That moment after the match, you just see Titus O'Neil. It's so funny. But then after that, we had Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar, the main match of the weekend. Drew McIntyre won. It was boring. It was terrible. It was similar to Braun Strowman versus Goldberg. Obviously, Braun Strowman Goldberg won. Braun Strowman beat Goldberg for the Universal title and all of that. Yeah, and yeah, that was disappointing. I just wasn't great. But yeah, Braun Strowman beat Goldberg. Drew McIntyre beat Brock Lesnar. Edge beat Randy Orton in the match, the last man standing match. And yeah, WrestleMania 36, it was a weird WrestleMania, let's just say that, but it was better than nothing. But yeah, WrestleMania 36 is number 3. So my number 2, this was actually last night. Number 2 is TLC, Tables, Ladders and Chairs. Oh my god, I love this pay-per-view. I absolutely love this pay-per-view. This is the best TLC I have ever seen. Since starting watching wrestling, this is the best TLC. Wow. Last night, TLC was amazing. Like, the ending. Oh my god. The Fiend was put on fire by Randy Orton. Is the Fiend over? Is the Fiend dead? We don't know. It's just... wow. And Randy Orton did win the Inferno match. Randy Orton did beat the Fiend. But who cares? The Fiend didn't get pinned. He didn't get submitted. He was put on fire. Oh my god. What an amazing... that was a good match as well, the Fiend Randy Orton. It was a good match. AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre. Oh my god, they went through hell as well. Obviously, it was like 40 minutes. It was so long. Obviously, then it turned into a triple threat match with The Miz trying to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Drew McIntyre. It didn't work. The Miz failed. The Miz failed to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase as Drew McIntyre retained the title. That was an amazing match. Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles. Those two men blew the house down. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, once again, another great match. It's just a shame that Jey Uso got involved. I was getting so... when Kevin Owens was about to win the title, and Jey Uso came up. I was like, go away, Jey, go away. And like, oh, it was just so, I was so frustrated when Jey Uso got involved, but it was still a great match. You could just, oh, it was amazing. It was more like a 2-on-1 handicap match. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens. It might as well have been, but obviously Roman Reigns got the neck of Kevin Owens, the guillotine on top of the ladder. Kevin Owens fell with Roman Reigns winning it. What was really sad, you had the Hurt Business win the Raw Tag Team Championships from the New Day, and you had Charlotte Flair return. How could I forget Charlotte Flair and Asuka winning the Women's Tag Team Champions from Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax as well. That was really good as well, to be fair. And oh my god, what an amazing pay-per-view TLC was, and wow, what a great pay-per-view, and that's why I put it in number 2. But number 1, yeah, it's so obvious, Raw Rumble. No, this was the best Royal Rumble pay-per-view I've probably ever seen ever. Like, oh my god, wow. This pay-per-view was amazing. And the men's Royal Rumble match, holy crap. What a match. Obviously, at the start, we had Brock Lesnar dominating, eliminating Elias, eliminating, who was it? Bloody Eric Rowan, Robert Roode, John Morrison, Kofi Kingston, Big E, Rey Mysterio, Cesaro, Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura, bloody hell, I can't believe I'm saying all these names. Oh god, I forgot. Keith Lee, MVP did return. Keith Lee and Braun Strowman were all eliminated by Brock Lesnar. That is an amazing. Brock Lesnar is tied with Braun Strowman as the most eliminations in one Rumble match. 13 eliminations until Drew McIntyre came out. Ricochet actually got the assist of eliminating Brock Lesnar. Ricochet low blowed Lesnar in the balls, and then Drew McIntyre claymored his ass over the top rope. Drew McIntyre eliminated Brock Lesnar, and Drew McIntyre won the... Oh, how could I forget? You think you know me? Edge, oh my god. The best moment in WWE history. No doubt about it. Edge was cleared. Obviously, back at SummerSlam 2019, we were wondering. Edge came out at SummerSlam 2019 and he speared Elias, right? And we were... That left scratches on our heads. And then, when that music hit, number 21, Edge came out, the WWE fans went absolute mental. It was absolutely amazing. Such a good moment, and wow, it was just amazing. Obviously, the final 3 was Edge, Roman Reigns, and Drew McIntyre. Roman Reigns eliminating Edge, and it was down to Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, as Drew McIntyre eliminates Reigns as he goes to WrestleMania 36 to beat Brock Lesnar. What was good. And what else happened? Oh yeah, the Women's Royal Rumble. Who won that? Charlotte Flair won. Shayna Baszler dominated in that match, eliminating most women. And Bianca Belair as well. Bianca Belair did pretty good as well. Bianca Belair got a few eliminations in there as well from NXT. Obviously, you had a few NXT stars in that, like Chelsea Green. You had Mighty Molly appear. You had Shotzi Blackheart. And all that, and it was great. Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox, Io Shirai, Xia Li, was it? No, was it? Yeah. Was Io Shirai in it? I couldn't remember. But, yeah, wow, it was an amazing match. Women's Royal Rumble was good. It was alright. Not the best Women's Royal Rumble ever, but it was good. What else? Oh yeah, you had The Fiend versus Daniel Bryan in the Universal title strap match. Probably the best Fiend match so far for The Fiend. And yeah, it was a great match. And what else? King Corbin versus Roman Reigns. Not in that last man stand. No, it wasn't. It was a false count anyway. Good match. It was an alright. Definitely the best match those two men had together. And yeah, wow. Just an amazing show. And Asuka versus Becky Lynch. And wow, amazing show. Royal Rumble, amazing show. But yeah, Royal Rumble in number 1 for me. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Comment down below, what is your best pay-per-view of 2020? I'd like to know. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and bye. Peace.